what's going on YouTube? Is Donnie B all day. Yo, this thing is awesome, man. If you get a chance, go to Macy's and find one of these things. Oh my goodness. So, the 4-Max. I brought out this knife when I first got it, and I sang its freaking praises. It's been in my pocket for the last couple of days, and somebody was watching video on some knife handling, and they were like, well, can you do the same thing with a big lockback with a smaller blade? And a smaller blade, I'm assuming you meant compared to the handle, because it definitely is. And I said, absolutely. I said, maybe I can just take out my 4-Max and bring it back. So I wanted to do a do I still love it, because I've done this with a few other knives where I've done some revisiting. You can see this 4-Max gets some 4-Max use. I love this knife. I freaking love it. Do I still love this knife? I freaking love it. This knife, I got crud all over this blade because I like to take it out. I like to use it because it performs. Let's see, how's the edge looking? Mighty, mighty. I did hone it up, but I never had to like reprofile or anything like that. It's just a really good freaking knife. What the steel is, a carpenter steel, I know that, and it's the CPM 20 CV, and this is the model that's made in Italy. There's a couple of them. The Italy one is just a little bit better. But do I still love this knife? Absolutely. One of the things I like to do is I'll take it like this, and I'll open up my hand, and I'll push it through, right? So it looks like this. It looks like, and it gives me that, you know, because sometimes, you know, you get a knife, you just want to play with it. You want to have some fun with it. It's not just about holding a knife. It's about being able to use your knife. And some uses are, you're sitting around and you're bored, you have nothing to do, so you start just swirling and twirling. One of the things with this 4-Max is the weight is really well dispersed throughout the blade, so it gives you opportunities to do different things. And being able to transfer the knife and just switch it back and forth is really cool. So what I like to do is I hold it below the choil, open up my hand, and then push it down all the way through until I get to this point. Then I close my hand in and turn it in a fist. So it looks like, oh, I'm looking at the dogs and I'm trying to do this at the same time. It looks like that. So instead of just going down all the way, I go down, close a fist. And that's all I'm doing, is holding it, bringing it down to where I'm pointing it to the ground. And once I make the fist, boom, it's ready to go. So it's a little trick that you can, when you're sitting around and you're bored and you're just playing with your knife, just play, have some fun. Yes, it's a sharp, deadly tool, but at the same time, it's a cool, sharp, deadly tool. That, as you see, I held it reverse, and what I did with the reverse is I just held it like I'm pointing at someone. Hey, you, get over here, and then I'm just dropping it. Pretty simple stuff. Pretty simple stuff. To wind or to spin, flip, whatever you want to, however you want to call it. Some people call it winding the blade. Some people call it spinning the blade. Some people call it flipping the blade. It's better to hold it in your last grip point and just open the hand, keep the thumb, and spin. Boom. Easy stuff. Easy stuff. But let's get into the actual, why do I still get up here, boys? Damn dogs. Damn dogs. Hey, come on. You know, our lot always looks like a used car lot. We have so many cars. And these dogs like to just hide in between them and get on the other sides because they know I can't see them. They know. All right, come on. So let's get into why this knife is. First of all, the steel holds up. You see it's all scratched? That's been put through some serious stuff to get some scratches like that on it, because you see around, I mean, the blade, if I show you like this part of the blade, it looks pretty good. I got a couple scratches on that side and stuff like that. But using that tip, man, I went through some pretty hairy stuff. I was actually digging out some rock I was taking a gem out of a rock with this. I used it as a pry bar to pry a gem out of a stone with this freaking knife. And I used it a couple times. Okay, so I got an old tire. Over there. And it collected some water. And he's got water inside. But whenever he comes outside, all he wants to do is find whatever water he can and drink. Hey! That's the face of guilt. All right, get up in the yard. So why I love it is because there's no, I mean, talking zero wobbling, zero loosening. The lock is still immaculate. The blade still opens and snaps really hard. The stop pin in this thing, I mean, it's a bar all in itself. Every single thing about this knife works as it did day one. Day freaking one. This is probably one of the greatest folding knives that you can buy. I mean, the 4MAX is a no joke freaking knife. But how does it still perform? How do it do? Let's go do a couple tests. We'll do a couple cuts and stuff like that, and voila, and see exactly how well it's maintaining. And just the edge. Remember, it's not reprofiled, so the edge that you see, while since I've honed it, I've done a little sharpening, but it's sharpening back to original or close to original, not reprofiling. And you can see without any pressure needed beyond a regular amount, it's just going through the rope, no problem. And let's see, a couple of hard downwards. You can see the bite. The bite is incredible. There's your line. You can see how far it dug in. It's just almost a supernatural blade, man. This thing is so crazy good. So crazy good. It just needs to be used. It's one of those knives that, sure, it's expensive and you can buy it and you can put it aside with some of your collectibles, yeah, if you want, but this blade begs to be used. And let's see. Let's use it. Of course, it was a blade that could chop right out of the box. And it's still a blade that can chop even though it's already been out of the box. But you can see how just awesome, how badass it is. This thing, it's just no joke. It's no freaking joke. Let's see. I mean, it's a freaking user. It's a user. This thing is made to not be left behind. It's made to take with you when you need to get the job done. It's the freaking 4MAX. Cold Steel makes a lot of good products. They make a lot of really, really good products. This is one of the better, really, really good products that they make. It's fantastic. Now, how does it hold up to, say, a Twisted Mr. knife? Those are coming. Those are coming. Twisted Mr. knives are on the way. We just ordered some new steel. And if you have ever seen New Jersey Steel Baron steel, and if you've ever read up, oh yeah, on their 1084, they make literally, and this isn't just me being weird or being stupid, the New Jersey Steel Baron people, their blend of 1084, it's the number one, the absolute best 1084 steel on the planet. People, knife makers from literally all around the world go there to get their 1084. And I bought some of that because not only is it the best 1084, but it heat treats really, really easily, really well. And you are going to see our upcoming knife company, Twisted Mr. Knives. For those of you who don't know, I'm starting a new knife company with Joe Mallinson, who is a very, very well-known knife maker among collectors, especially movie knife makers. He makes the Commando knife and the Rambo Mission 1 and Mission 2 Lyle style. Well, better than anybody. He was actually offered to take over for Lyle after Lyle passed, but he didn't want to move across country. So he makes them, and people have to literally order in advance for him to make those knives, because he's literally the best there is at doing them. And he is going to be the man behind the actual forging of Twisted Mr. Knives. He is going to be the maker, the badass. So while I will be designing, Joe will be making. This thing is so nice. This thing is so nice. Let's see, we got all this stuff. Just nice. So it's going to be a really, really good venture. Getting back to this, I mean, no matter what I do, no matter what I use it for, it just freaking works. That's why it spends so much time in my pocket. It's just an all-around awesome, everyday carry, everyday user type of knife. Be careful when you flip this way. It's pretty easy to watch it. When you flip this way, it's a little harder to maintain. So if you're going to do reverse flips, really, I'm trying to look at you guys, really watch yourself when you catch the blade, because it's coming around this way as you're trying to get into it. That's when accidents happen. This way is a little bit easier. And if you can, just use your thumb, put a little spin on it, and it just looks a little cooler. That's what's going on, man. That's what's going on. We're going to be making some great knives. Speaking of great knives, the Formax. The Formax. Why do I still love it? Because it's awesome. I mean, right now I'm just kind of yapping. But I talked to recently the head honcho, the boss, the big man over at thekukrihouse.com, whom I love, and who is right now in charge. We're going to cut some more. Who's in charge of Dbad Designs, right? So Twisted Mr., designed by Dbad, and Dbad Creations are two different things. The Dbad knives I make for the Kukri House to put out are a different knife than what I'll be making and putting out with our Twisted Mr. company, because this is going to be me and Joe. It's going to be our company. So it's literally, you're getting Dbad Knives, not just Dbad Designs. That's going to be a really, really cool thing. Got all this rope here, all this stuff that I had to carry a Christmas tree home on, home with, and you can see it's just no problem for this knife. This is actually the knife I used when I had to get this thing off of the tree, and it was just beep, just like that. Really, really easy, really, really simple to cut through. I mean, this is a lot of material right here, and it doesn't freaking matter. So that's why I still love this knife, because it still works as good as it did. As good as it did, brand spanking new. I think I have you guys flipped all over the place. Ta-da! So that's the thing. But I was talking to the owner of the Kukri House, and he is a big fan of mine, and there's a reason. And this was a pretty great compliment, and it's a kudos to you guys, really. Right now, Dbad Designs at the Kukri House in Nepal, greatest. Oh. I don't know. I was trying to clean the lens and I flipped you. Home of the single greatest kukri knives in the world, right? These guys have been doing it for a long time. They are true Gurkhas. This is what they do. It's who they are. They let me know that Dbad Designs right now are their #1 sellers. #1. They are selling like crazy, and the people that are buying them so far, ask Scab over at Choir Boys Cutlery. Oh, and don't forget, Scab is over 420 subscribers right now, which means he's only in the 80 range, 75 range of his 500 mark. Every 500 subscribers, he is giving away, he's buying with his own money and giving away a Dbad preacher. Oh. So don't forget, subscribe to Choir Boys with a Z at the end, one word, Choir Boys Cutlery. Watch Scab, he knows his stuff. But not only is Dbad Creations their number one sellers, but the D-Guard buoy. You guys have put in some orders for that D-Guard, man. The Old War buoy, Dbad Old War buoy, is selling like crazy, along with the others. They have literally turned that entire company around to a completely different kind of knife company. I mean, these guys now are masters of all. They came out with the greatest kukris. Now they have the Preacher, which is the greatest. I mean, what do you call it? It's not just a buoy. It's not just a large knife. It's not just a fighting knife, a camp knife. It's a everything knife. I mean, it's just awesome. And then you have the OEF Defender, the John Jay Tribute, the Little Big Man, the War Machine, which is the K-Bar on steroids. It's beastly bad. That is selling like crazy. The Camp Master is going. Guys, the designs are selling and the designs are working. People are getting them and they're saying, crap, this was actually really good. I know my stuff, and those guys know how to forge, no doubt about it. So, Dbad Creations over at thekukrihouse.com, and soon you will be getting Dbad Knives with our own company, Twisted Mister, but that doesn't mean Kukri House shuts down. No, because I just talked to them, and the reason that we struck up the conversation is because I was telling them that I think the next knife we should do, since right now being ready to get shipped, is my the Dbad Mission 4, the Rambo 4, my take on it. Wait till you see it. They sent me a picture. Oh my God. So wait till you see it. It's coming out amazing. But I told them, I said, I want the Kukri House to be #1 in the world for custom-made Rambo designs. Not movie replicas, not the cheap stuff. I'm talking about custom-made the way they should have been done originally. Knives that Rambo would have been proud to carry and that anybody can use and abuse. I'm talking knives that are going to just be out of the box sick. Nice. I said to them, I said, I want you guys to be the #1 place in the world for a Rambo collection. I mean the full Rambo collection. In order to get the Rambo collection, I got to start making more of them. So, the Rambo 3, the Dbad Rambo 3. It looks like production might start December, and hopefully it looks like January of 2021. So, 2021 with the Kukri House is going to start out with a bang with the Rambo 3, the Mission 3. And it's going to be just nasty. It's nasty. The design came out great. The steel is, I mean, you guys know, if you've bought those Kukri House blades, you know it's going to hold up no matter what. So that's what we're looking at. We're up in the game. But just because we're starting Twisted Mister Knives here doesn't mean that Dbad Creations are stopping there. Dbad Creations are going to continue. The knives there are going to continue to grow. The amount, what you're going to be able to choose from. And if you are a Rambo fan, I guarantee it, next year you're going to see it's going to be the only place worth going to if you want a Rambo style knife, because I'm going to do them all. I redesigned every single Rambo knife. So, and I mean the ones that people don't even think about either. Even those knives redesigned. But that's what's going on. The 4 Max, do I still love it? Guys, I mean, we just tooled around while I did this the whole time. This knife is incredible. This knife is freaking incredible. If you are lucky enough to find one, get one. It is worth having. This knife is a beast. It is a beast. Look at this. Even in my hands, it's still impressive. And that's hard. It's hard to make a knife look impressive in my hands. And this thing is freaking impressive. Do I still love it? I still love it. I still love the Cold Steel 4 Max. This thing is just ridiculous. So, great things on the horizon. with both the Kukri House and Twisted Mr. Knives. We are getting ready. We're going to launch. They're just going to continue to launch. Everything is right. You guys are the best. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.